what we've done. Choking our world, loading the gun. Some minds are free. Greed is a prison, so hard to see. How many care? How many stand up? How many dare? How many care? How many stand up? How many dare? Oh, look at what we've done. Oh, look at what we've done. Nothing left to give. Bracking the earth, the place where we live. Water we can't drink. Chemical spills, rivers that stink. How many care? How many stand up? How many dare? How many care? How many stand up? How many dare? Oh, look at what we've done. Oh, look at what we've done. Tell me it's not true. So many lies you always knew. All is on the run. Most of the wild ones, now they are gone. How many care? How many stand up? How many
Yeah, we fucking
dare?
stand up, baby.
How many care?
This Blue Dot family stands up.
How many stand up?
Shit.
How many
Oh.
dare? Oh.
How y'all doing, baby? It is Sunday. And it's Sunday. It's the start of a new week. It's the start of a new fucking world. Hey, the damn thing. Oh, it jumped on me again because now I don't know who came in first. I know Irene Lambert was there. Jeanette Miller is here. Lynn Wood. Dwayne's music is here. Amy Bowen's. Oh, it's just going nuts. Trudy Backer's here. Susan Forsepi. Dorothy Tyndall. Julie Powers. Linda Gallup. You know, I call out these names. Y'all bear with me. Wanda Bell. Oh man, names I recognize for so long. Anyway, it is Sunday, and it's time for another Blue Dot family meeting. And boy, do we have shit to discuss. Yeah, we went to war, but that's not the heaviest thing on my mind right now. It's this Blue Dot family that's just on my mind. I can't explain what that means. How dear this family is. We lost another member, Donna Baticosi. My heart goes out to Fred. I loved Donna. I loved talking to her on the phone. I loved that heavy Boston accent. I loved the way she pronounced my name. Forgive me, shit. Yeah, it's going to be a rough one. It's going to be a rough one. I have a lot of personal shit on my mind, but hello, Miss Chick.
Well, yeah, our
Save.
personal worlds just don't stop, do they?
No, they don't, baby. No, they don't.
Regardless of the rest of the world.
It's yeah, it's been a rough weekend. I lost my best friend and my adopted brother on Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and we
Sorry
lost
to hear
Donna.
that.
Yeah, it's kind of tired of this shit.
Well, unfortunately, as we age.
Yes, the list, the list, baby, the list. Well, I guess we're at war.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah, there's
And
that.
what happened to that 2 week thing? I thought we were doing 2 week things on
Yeah,
everything, but apparently
yeah,
not
we
on
were gonna do
that.
2 weeks, and then 2 weeks stretches into a month and a year, and he never gave a shit
Only
before.
that ended up being 2 days, I think. I don't know. The Pope did have something to say about it. Let me
Oh,
see.
did he? Because I didn't
He,
hear that.
he did.
What did he have to
Pope
say?
Leo the 14th said, "War does not solve problems. On the contrary, it amplifies them and inflicts deep wounds on the history of peoples which take generations to heal. No armed victory can compensate for the pain of mothers, the fear of children, or stolen futures. May diplomacy silence the weapons. May nations chart their futures with works of peace, not with violence and blood-stained conflicts." And he probably said more than that. That's the only part that I have here.
Yeah, if only we could live by such wise words, huh? But we
Yeah.
can't.
And, he speaks of the generations thing, and it's exactly what got us to 9/11 was the generations of stuff. And it's exactly why, the Israelis and Palestinians were going at each other forever. It's generations of stuff.
Oh, it's
It
been
just
going on
keeps
for forever.
right, but the wounds never heal, and they
No,
keep getting passed on generation to
they
generation,
fester.
as with any trauma. And you can include a lot of trauma that's happened in the United States over our history, and slavery being one of them. That's a
Yes.
generational thing, and we're still not over the trauma of that.
No. No. As a
And
matter of fact, parts of our country want to back up to it.
oh, yeah, but
So,
it seems like it will never be halted because there's always someone that's been hurt and in kind wants to hurt someone else to ease
pain
their
is
pain,
universal,
and it
baby.
doesn't. It doesn't work. It does not
It never
work.
has.
Before we get too
There.
far into it, I want to mention that
Okay.
on YouTube, I don't remember which video it was, but someone after shows donated. It was Kiwi Hootie donated
Kiwi Hootie.
$25.
I
Kiwi Hootie.
appreciate the hell out of that. And on that note, Vincent Sarabo just came in with $5 and said, should have known this with the student deportations and travel bans. It's Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also wanted to mention something about that
Yeah,
because
that's
there
the
was
least of
some
her.
local scuttlebutt, local meaning in my general geographic area, not local to real close by, but someone in one of the larger cities nearby had made mention on Facebook that had come into a business. Yeah, this was just someone's in their 20-ishes, and they came in and asked if their employees had J1 visas. And it's like, well, it's none of your business. Who are you?
Yeah.
Why are you even asking?
Why are you here to ask that such?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they got turned away. They weren't They weren't,
It
what
was
do you
the
call it?
Los Angeles Dodgers, I think it is,
Uniformed up.
that stood up and denied ICE agents access.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. hmm
It's going to be the citizens.
And of
that's gonna
course,
do
the
that.
administration turned around and said, "Oh, that didn't happen. It didn't happen."
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Well, what was that
Yeah.
shit I saw on TV then?
I don't know which TV
Yeah.
are you watching.
Yeah. It
'Cause
must have been. It must have been
it
one of the
wasn't
fake
on
ones.
Fox.
It must have been on fake news. You know how it is. They always
Yeah.
come up with
Good
bullshit.
Lord.
Well, I see where the Iranian Parliament has voted to close the Straits of Hormuz.
Yeah.
So
Do you blame them?
better get out there and fill up your gas tank because that shit's fixing to go
Yeah.
sky high. But that pales in comparison to what I fear is coming down the pike. Is what's shit.
Yeah.
God damn it. You know, I live by this one fucking mantra. You adapt, you overcome, you move fucking forward. It's what you do in life. It's what you always have to fucking do. And we're going to have to adapt. We're going to have to overcome a whole lot of goddamn obstacles, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering because of this prick desire to climb up Netanyahu's ass.
Yeah. Yeah. And don't trust that man at all. Never have. Never will. I won't even trust that he's dead when he's dead. I don't. I just don't know about Netanyahu.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Yeah, so their Operation Hammer, what I call the big dick swing. Yeah. And I don't know how they gauge how much they've done or not done when they do those things, How can they tell what complete damage they have or haven't done?
Yeah, immediately he came out and said it's total destruction. We destroyed everything they have. It's a total success and this bullshit.
Right, and we had the
Bullshit.
largest, and it was the biggest, and it was the
yeah.
mostest, and
Yeah. Yeah, and if you don't make peace, we're going to come kick your ass all over the fucking place, all over. Yeah, it's.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what it was all about. He was just, I swear that whole being temperate, waiting 2 weeks or however many days, and just using the big threat. He got pissed. He was pissed.
I wonder if
his likability had gone so far down south that he was pissed.
I wonder if the 2 weeks thing it was actually ended up being a motivator for him, because as soon as he came out with "we'll know in 2 weeks," the news and everybody else started jacking on him about how many times he used that term. He uses it for every fucking thing and never does a damn thing. Yeah. So that was thrown in his face. So I don't know what. I'll show you.
Well, especially after he stomped off from Canada, and that's when it started, I think.
Yeah.
Made it look like it was an emergency, but I think it was more of I'm pissed off and I'm going to do something.
He was butthurt. He was butthurt. That's why.
Yeah.
We've got a butthurt president who doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground, who lives on lies. Boy, how does
you know who does know his ass from a hole in the ground?
Who?
Mitch.
It is. I don't see him. Oh, I see him. I see him. Well, let's get Mitch up here because Mitch always has something wise to say, and right now he's something fucking wise. While we wait on him, I want to thank Jimbo, who came in with a $5 donation and said, "Everybody loves you, John." I do for damn sure. Well, I love you back, Jimbo, and fuck. And Lincoln came in with $5 and said the bombing mission was a fail, but the regime won't admit it. Les Parvis says this was pre-planned with Putin. The media is not telling the truth. I don't think the media ever fucking tells the truth anymore. Hello, Mitch. God damn.
What's the media's incentive to tell the truth?
Right.
That's a good question.
We went from having journalism to having 100% sensationalism media owned by billionaires. And during the 80s, when this whole current of neo Nazism and Christian nationalism in America took root, and people like me said, this is not going to work out well for us
Hmm.
because the Constitution, as brilliant as it was, and I use was with all opprobrium, it had some loopholes in it, as you are no doubt aware, John. And one of those loopholes, and I remember when I was a kid, and they taught us about the three ring circus, right? America. You have the judiciary, and you have the legislative and the executive, and all three. The job
That's
of
what we
all
used to have.
three, right? The job
Yeah.
of all three was to make sure that none of the other two ended up so corrupt that it became dysfunctional. We have now reached the time because people were too lazy, too stupid, too racist, too whatever to vote against fascism. And we have allowed all three branches of our constitutional federal government to essentially be destroyed and
They've
dysfunctional.
been compromised.
Compromise, compromise means if you have a 100-person group and one FBI informant gets in, that's compromise. This is way beyond compromise.
That's true. That's true.
And I remember the Ed Mises of the world and the Kissingers of the world. They knew that the thin line between constitution functionality and dysfunctionality was as simple as making sure that the press could be bought. And that's what changed everything. When Ronald Reagan eliminated the fairness doctrine
Yes.
and started this momentum towards selling media,
me?
purchasing and selling media. So what you're seeing is the product of that. Now you say, I looked at Facebook this morning. I wanted to see how people were going to react. And the one thing that I came away with, the one feeling that I came with is, I still don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Nobody knows what happened.
And you can't believe anything you're told. So.
First off, you got what Trump said happened. That's a lie.
Yeah, you can take that.
Because Trump, we have now gotten to the point where Trump is incapable and unwilling to tell the truth about anything. And you can actually safely presume that whatever he says, the exact opposite will be. And we are now hearing reports from media that of the three sites that were quote unquote bombed, they were not bombs, by the way, they were missiles. That the three sites that were missiles, that two of them were empty, and one of them was not penetrated. In other words, mission not accomplished.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
And
if
it
their
pushes them
mission
more.
was to cause more division in the United States and around the world, and if their mission was to continue to advance nationalism, and if their mission was to continue to foment hatred against Muslims and brown people, then by all means, mission accomplished.
Yes.
The whole world is watching as Trump drops his baggy ass pants and wipes his ass with the Constitution of the United States unapologetically. His party will not be a party of law and order. The party of strict
no, I don't think so.
instructional constitutionists. The party of pro-life. What the fuck is that all about, John?
Yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of lies.
Pro-life.
Pro-life my ass.
Pro-life. Yeah.
Pro-life. And even though your abortion issue, as soon as that baby is born, fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him.
Get a job.
Yeah, that's
get a
their
job.
idea of moral constancy.
That's their
is that you make it impossible for people who don't want to be pregnant to not get pregnant, but by all means, allow the Palestinians to be slaughtered. Allow and I'm sure that people were hurt and injured. We haven't really heard the reports, but you don't drop cruise missiles. Maybe they did drop them where nobody was, but I doubt that.
I doubt that. There were casualties.
Al Jazeera
Plenty
reports.
of them.
Al Jazeera reports that Iran moved all of their assets out of two of the three targets,
I heard
and
that.
that the third target is a hardened bunker that was built by Putin primarily and is designed to withstand a nuclear weapon. Well, don't that put us in a bit of a pickle?
Doesn't it though? Doesn't it though? Because in my book we've assured them that they're going to get a bomb, that they're going to produce a nuclear weapon.
I can tell you, man, you don't have to produce a nuclear weapon to fuck with people. So now the latest report I heard is that they're closing the Strait of Hormuz.
Yes.
How many people here know where the Strait of Hormuz is?
Well, I would hope
Remember
everybody
when you were a
in
kid and
this
you went to
audience.
school and they said the Suez Canal was real important? Well, the Suez Canal opens up that whole area, you see. And it has to go around Saudi Arabia. There's no way out of it.
Mm-mm.
So it's a
Yeah,
it's a
things
problem.
are going to get worse, a lot worse. Not
And I
only
think it's really
economically,
kind of
but
interesting that we don't seem to be getting any action from Trump's followers who told us, fuck the liberals,
yeah,
fuck the left. Trump is the one who's going to keep us out of war.
that's what he
Trump
said.
is the one.
That's what he
Yeah,
said.
Trump's the one that's going to keep us out of war. That Kamala Harris was a warmonger.
How long has he been in office? What, 4 months? How many fucking days?
He hasn't been
Look at the
through
world, baby.
1/8 of his fucking term.
Standing?
Yeah.
We had a deal. We had a deal with Iran, a nuclear deal.
We had a deal that was working
That was working. It was. They
in
had
the eyes of
stopped
the
enriching.
international community.
But why don't we have that anymore? Oh, that's right. Donnie's first term, where he fucked it up, where he tore it up.
Basically,
Yeah, it's exactly what it was. And that has come back
Well,
upon our ass.
and how
and
does
now,
this get him his Nobel Peace Prize? How does that work?
Well, by
let me
being
tell you something.
by bringing
I still
peace.
can't figure out how no one went to jail for Iran Contra. Not one swinging
Yeah,
dick. Oh yeah, there were a couple, but guess who pardoned them?
the wrong ones too. Usually go to the lower tier guys that go to jail.
And you got Oliver Stone, not Oliver Stone, Oliver North. I get them confused all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oliver North, that cocksucker, sitting there on the news
Ended up
talking
on
shit about
Fox.
Kamala Harris,
Ended up as a broadcaster.
saying Kamala Harris wants to see dead Muslims. Okay,
They
you know who
sold
the
them
haters are. You know who the hate mongers are. It's not like it's a secret.
No, no.
I
It's
got
the
nothing
right.
against the Iranian people.
I say it all the time. That's all Trump has to. That's all the Republican Party has to sell, is hate and division. That's
Oh,
it.
they have fear. No, they
All
have
right,
fear
well,
too.
they throw in fear for everybody. So
But
we're
you know
all
something,
fucking
John?
worried.
Hate and fear are the same thing. There's no difference between hate and fear. We hate
They
what we
spawn
fear.
the same. They spawn the same reactions.
We fear what we hate, and we hate what we fear.
Mm-mm-mm. Let me catch
And
What do
you.
you
there's a lot
think,
of
Uncle Betty?
who think that by doing these things, white Christian American conservatives, their lives will somehow be better.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's see how
like
many
all
of
that
them end up
miserable.
at the recruiting depot. You know, to sign up.
And everybody's saying, "Oh, you know what's going to happen next? There's going to be a draft." I'm like, "Ain't going to be no fucking draft." You want to know why? I'll tell you two reasons why. Reason number one: when you get a draft, everybody gets drafted, no matter how much money you make. Okay, unless you are
Unless you
rich
got bone
enough to
spurs.
have, unless you're rich enough to have some doctor scape you out.
Yep.
but that was rather rare. If you remember, Ted Williams went and served, and Americans went and served their country because they were asked to do so, and that refers to everybody. So you don't get a chance to get out of that. Second reason is when you have a volunteer army, John. What sort of person do you get? You're going to get someone who wants to be in the army.
Yeah. Thanks.
And that is
Yeah.
not the sort of person that's going to say, hey, you know
Oh,
something?
they're eager to go to
These
war before they
orders
go to
that-
war.
Right? These orders that we've been given are illegal and we don't have to follow them. You don't get that from that kind of people.
Mm-mm.
But if you put
No.
Joe Schmuck, American young person in there, they're going to realize that it's just a house of cards.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to tumble down
Dude,
because they're not.
we're going to
get the
be here to
recruiting.
watch it. All of us here together are going to watch it. And I told you when a couple people went to jail for Watergate. Watergate was mild compared to
Yeah.
what Trump has done. Nobody went to
On
jail, or nobody's
steroids.
still in jail. Their punishments were remitted for Iran-Contra by Bush.
And the biggest crook was pardoned.
Right?
Yep. Hey, let me catch up real quick. Be More Butterfly came in with a $10 donation and just said support, baby. I appreciate that. Mary Humphreys came in with $5 and said, question I have is if they hit nuclear, wouldn't everybody in Iran be dead? Well,
No.
no. Only if the bomb goes off. If you hit it, it just disperses. It's only going to infect the local area. Our Hands came in with $10 and said, remember the Reagan's Iran-Contra debacle? I do. Same party. Indeed. That's what we were just
Same
talking about.
people. Damn
And
near.
Fox Wolf Warrior came in with $5 and said, fuck Donald Trump. I swear that bolt of lightning needs to come get his ass. Play the song. Oh, let's start it early. Let's get Smiley. That ain't enough though.
I need you to shut the
Not
fuck
enough
up,
for him
bitch.
just
Shut
to
the
shut
fuck
up.
up, bitch. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut the fuck up,
Really
bitch.
jiggles every time he
Shut
comes
the fuck
on.
up. Shut the fuck up. Bow, bow. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Bow, bow. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Bow,
Still
bow.
managed to put a smile on my face. Hello,
I can't wait
Fatty.
to piss on that guy's grave. I'll tell you what.
How you doing, brother?
Well, we got a little bit of snow in Idaho today.
Oh, I'll pray for you. It's not snow time, buddy. It's summer. Come on.
It's not even 4th of July yet, man. Come on.
No
How you been
shit.
doing?
All right,
Doing
I'm
good.
fucking out, guys. See you guys. I gotta watch I've been spending enough time talking about the motherfucker all day. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
chill my ass out and go watch the NBA Game 7 Finals. So,
Outstanding,
Nice.
can I
Mitch.
ask,
Thank you for
are you
coming in,
rooting for
Julie.
anybody?
Love you, baby. Thank you.
John.
Throw up in the chat of who you're rooting for tonight. We're rooting for the Pacers. Good night,
Who's
everybody.
playing?
Good night. Good night, Mitch. Fatty.
You know, Mitch has got to be an old carpenter. I swear, he comes in with his big hammer and he just hits those nails right on the
He
head.
does.
Smack one
He does.
time. One time.
I enjoy his
Real
commentary very much. I had the pleasure of being able to meet him, and he's an intelligent guy who thinks a lot
yeah.
of things through, and yeah, I
Well, most
enjoy his
of us are on this side of the aisle. You know, it
We are.
seems to be a
I prefer to
common
think
thing
that,
that, you know, common sense and reason and any type of logic just kind of went out the window there when Newt stood on the floor and said during the Reagan administration that the other side is evil. The other side must be stopped at all cost. We must defy everything that they try to get done. And that's what's happened ever since. That's the day that this country became a false dichotomy. It's the day this country became a bad faith argument. Because they're not coming to the table. They've not come to the table for 40 years, okay? And
No.
talk about short-sightedness, right? Short-sightedness is what, you know, this whole capitalism thing is about with, you know, the guys like Putin that would want to take us down using our own attention deficit disorder against us. And seeing guys like Reagan who were an actor, who were easily manipulated by the forces that would be.
played the part he was cut out. He was asked to play.
Absolutely.
Red-blooded,
You know,
flag-waving
Nancy ran
song
that
singing
freaking
American,
office.
baby.
That's right. You know, with all the patriotism and the nationalism,
bet.
and that's
That's
when the shit all started. You know,
Yeah.
and I'm a firm, you know, whatever, that Nixon should have been prosecuted. You know, that's what led to all those young guys who are now the old guys in office. You know, Newt was in his freaking early 30s when he said that. Now he's freaking in his 70s and he's on Fox News every day talking about this and that and whatever. And he knows that he's hypno programming people. You know, and this game is a lot deeper
selling a
than
product. That's what they
that's
do.
it. That's it.
They
And
sell a
like
product.
like Nick said, what is the incentive of any of these major news companies that have billionaire owners who are in the pocket of the Republican Party and have been due to the Citizens
Days
United
of Walter
Act?
Cronkite and shit are over. Yeah.
No, straight up.
News-
You know, it's
yeah.
like the blonde gal that's on Midas Touch. She's Suri Crow. You know, she was a big reporter. She was an in-depth, real reporter who is, you know, facts only, and got fired for a couple of tweets for throwing up some hearts when Obama, you know, when he left office, he put out this real nice public statement, and then she went on to the Twitter and put 3 hearts onto that as a reply, and was basically fired from a major news corporation for being biased at that point in time.
Biased.
And the whole spin, you know, we all see the spin. The problem is the cult members never see the addiction when they're in it.
Mm-mm.
You know,
No,
and
they're
they know
looking
the
for
spin
next
is there.
buzz, baby.
Like you've said, it's all bravado, right? This whole MAGA thing. You put on your red hat, and that gives you the excuse to puff out
That's
your
it.
chest and act like
That's
a
it.
dick.
That's it. That's all I see out of them. I'm voting for Trump. You like that shit? Yeah. Yeah. You ask
You know,
them
it's
anything
more
about
about
the issues,
triggering the lid.
or
Yeah.
they're not there, Betty. They're not there. They could give two
No.
shits, but you can bet your ass they're going to have that God bless America sticker on their bumper. They're going to have all sorts of flags. They're going to have fucking eagles flying by and all that shit. I saw it
20
last
grand
night,
on
baby.
my truck wrap. Got about 5 grand worth of Trump flags. Got about
Yeah.
7.5 grand on my t-shirts and my hats and my tattoos. But I'm too broke to get a cigarette. Can I bum a cigarette? Because these
Yeah.
goddamn Bidenomics are killing me.
Yeah, them Bidenomics, everything went up. Everything went up under Biden.
You know, it's short-sightedness. It's ADD, and not being able to see past the right now.
Biden
And
seemed
having a
such
person
a
like
long
Donald
time
who is
ago.
just completely in the now, has to be in your face, changes the subject 2 or 3 times a day. This whole thing in the Mideast is nothing more than a mass distraction technique.
Well, you know, the Bills
What
got
are they
their,
doing here
this will give
in America?
the big bill, beautiful bill, a big boost.
Well,
yeah.
yeah, I think it was also a test too, wasn't it? Because normally, if we are to be engaging in some type of war, because we were the one that did it, wouldn't that mean we're the aggressor on that?
It would appear so.
Yeah.
Congress would have to say we can do this.
No, in
Congress did
normal
not
times, yes.
approve it.
We're not in normal
This
times.
is why you don't elect
Congress is
narcissistic
worthless.
egomaniacs.
And they're sending the message that, oh yeah, we had information that blah 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 blah. And I'm like, but show us, tell us, what's the information then?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's the
bullshit. And if
problem?
they did, it'd be illegal anyways. You know, it'd be
Yeah.
backdoor politics, and that shit doesn't play. And you know, they're getting held to account. All these provisions that the Senate is putting into the big beautiful bill now that they have it. You know, everybody's saying that they're going to knock it down. They're going to take all the pork and take all the fat out of it, right? No, they're putting in some crazy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
They're
trust
putting in
their
some
ass.
even worse shit that's already in there. You know, yes, I'm not shitting yet. It's to the point where, you know, protests are what we have right now. And
Our
I'm,
voice.
you know,
That's the only
fully with you,
weapon
John.
we have right now.
That's all we have.
And I
you know,
and I have
we
a feeling
cannot-
it's
we
gonna
cannot take up.
increase in volume. I think it's gonna increase in size and volume, baby.
Yeah, we're looking at some domestic stuff probably popping off, and probably some foreign stuff popping off, and you know, that's all part of their plan. and we just, it's as hard as it is. And I fall prey to this too. I get fixated on the stories. But as soon as I think to myself, why the fuck are they doing this? What are they doing here? What's the distraction? Because everything, like you said with Donald, it's a lie. It's a show. It's always a show. It's been a show. His life has been a show since the late 70s. And he lives in a totally different fucking reality. And he's demented, obviously. He's being taken advantage of by the powers that would be, the Heritage Foundation. And as far as it goes, like, they own the country right now.
They're acting like they do. They're acting like
And as far as
they
it
own it
goes,
lock,
they
stock,
kind
and
of
barrel.
do. I
And we
mean,
don't need a constitution anymore. We don't need a legislative branch or a
need
judicial
notice.
branch. We have Donnie.
hell no. Title I,
what we
give
have.
them all the power, and then we'll just tell them what to do from the back door. And then when everything falls apart, we'll just all say, "Oh well, he was
Hey.
just all crazy at the time, and
Yeah,
we
it
didn't
wasn't our
really,
fault."
Well, you know what didn't happen after World War II, right? That excuse doesn't work, and this shit will fall. This will not last.
This will not stand. This
These
isn't going to
assholes are on the
stand.
wrong side of history, right? And it's our job right now to call them out. Because, like I said, man, even if the numbers are straight, which we know they aren't, if 64% of America voted, and he got 49% of that, that's 31%. That is not a mandate. That is not half of America, right? And this is what needs to be pushed back on, is it's not a mandate. He did not win 51% of all of America. And that's their story. That's their narrative, right? They always have to.
That's what they
always,
push all
every
the time.
sentence
America voted for
has to
this.
be
American
mandate.
people stood up.
Mandate.
Bullshit. I didn't vote for this. Mm.
And most Republicans didn't either. And the farmers that are losing their help and losing good family people that honestly, people 20, 30 years, 15, 20, 30 years, people have been working for these farmers straight through.
Indeed.
And you don't think
Indeed.
there's not a bond there, that those people aren't family to them?
And I noticed him just the other day, right before I got the news on Friday. I saw him on the tarmac answering questions, and when immigration was brought up, that was what he went to, the farmers. And the question wasn't about farmers; it was about immigration. It was about.
Me? Outstanding.
Oh man. Yeah. But he went on and on. Oh, we love our farmers. We can't hurt our farmers. I'd do anything for the farmers and blah, blah, blah. Bullshit.
Yeah, and then the next day, Stephen Miller was back in charge again.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
This country cannot, we can't live the life that we live without migrants. They do a whole lot of work in this country.
The National Association of Home Builders estimates that we were over 200,000 hands, pair of hands, 200,000 people short just in the housing industry alone. Before all of this shit happened. Now they're saying we're closer to 5 or 6. We're not going to recover. The housing industry is dead. I'm building stuff for big upper 1%ers up here. So we're okay, but all this track home stuff that we had figured out.
That's just home
Our
building.
county commissioners
Not
are just
even
like,
counting agriculture.
oh no, not even counting that.
Yeah.
But where do we put people? That's the whole thing with this deportation and what's the word that they keep using? The relocation or remigration is their word.
Remigration. Yeah, there's
Remigration.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't heard that one. I have not heard
That's
that
the
word
new-
yet.
that's the new
Remigration?
Remigration. It's
Give them $1,000 and they can remigrate themselves.
$1,000.
straight up.
Remigrate.
Yep. If you want to turn yourself in and leave the country, we'll give you $1,000 to go with. Because they know, I mean, what are those guys? Those ICE agents are making, okay, figure this, $25 an hour, right? It's $200 a day.
We assume
That's
they're ICE
$1,000 a
agents.
week.
We
They're
assume
making more than
ICE
25
agents.
bucks an hour. Those guys are making at least, 50, 60, 80 bucks an hour to be out there with their weapons. They're probably being bid out at least 150 and probably getting paid 80.
Yeah.
That's $1,000 every 2 days. Okay. So
Oh, a
it's a
small
lot
price
cheaper
to
just
pay.
to pay the guy to leave than it is to pay the guy to go round him up. We had a great response on Saturday up here. ICE was rounding up some people over in Spokane, and a bunch of citizens came out and straight got the guy back. It got physical, and that was probably pretty dumb, but it ended up to where they chased him back into their compound, and they had a little wrestling match in front of the gate. They kind of closed the gate, and as far as it goes, like, that's a big W for we the people. You know, however it happened, and I'm straight with you, John. We cannot fucking take up arms. We can't be violent.
No,
we
no.
It's got to be.
No, that
You
is
know,
exactly what
when
he
they're
is
coming at us with
trying
horses,
to.
we need to sit down on the ground and let the horses trample us.
That's it.
That's the hard part
That's
about
it. You
this
march
shit.
up to
you
the
know?
line, and if nothing, you sit down. You sit down.
Absolutely.
Hold that
Make
sign
them
up.
do it.
Hold your ground. But
I
don't.
mean,
We cannot go down the road of violence. But what
Yeah.
I fear is not the violence from Democrats or liberals. I'm worried about the violence from people that are going to come in and agitate us
Well,
and try to start
that's
shit.
not to say that we don't need to be prepared, because I'm telling you, the red hats up here are froggy, and they are ready to jump.
Yeah.
They are 100% ready to jump.
Move away from
And-
those people best you can.
Well,
I'm
you
surrounded.
know,
baby.
yeah. Now
I'm
that I'm
surrounded.
deciding to maybe run for office, I don't know.
Hey,
No, I don't
yeah.
mean that. I mean, if you're at a protest, move away from
But yeah,
people
Oh yeah.
stirring shit
Yeah.
up.
you know,
Hey, let me,
they showed up at our Pride deal the other day. But yeah, hit the people up in the chat there, and make sure you hit that thumb, people, and make sure you hit that bell, and hit that Cash App too.
Let me hit Mega Wet Willie, who came in with $5, said they have been using the excuse of Iran being dangerous since Reagan, just like the fear of the government coming to take people's guns away. Oh yeah, there you go. Scare them one way or another. And Kitty K came in with $20 and said, "Man's inhumanity to man rears its ugly head again." Love you, John. I love you back, Kitty K. Thank you very much. Mega Wet Willie came back again with another $5 and said news reports are saying that Iran has voted to close down the Straits of Hormuz to shipping, causing a 30 to 50% increase in oil and gas prices. Oh, we'll be lucky if that's all it is, 30 to 50. It's going to get bad. And Lincoln came in with $2 and said we need mass mobilization in D.C. We need it all across the United States, in every city, in every town, in every state. Joseph
Every
Martinez
city
came
hall
in with
building.
$10 and said, "I still like the question Bill Quinton asked. How do we get out of a quicksand?" Yeah, we're in it now. And Wesley Wiseman came in with $5 and said, "Independence Day is when all Trumpaloons is gone." That is going to be a long time, my friend. That's
Yeah,
going to
they'll
be a
never
long
go
time.
away.
Let me see, Sammy.
Hey John, how you doing, man?
I'm hanging in there, brother.
Yeah, I hear you there. You know, I'm up here in Spokane. Uncle Fatty sounds like he's around here somewhere, but
Yeah, I'm over in Coeur d'Alene, buddy.
oh, right on, brother. We should get
Yeah.
together.
Hell yeah.
This I've been dealing with these fucking red hat motherfuckers for 37 years since I've been here, you know, and it's exhausting. And the older I get, the more exhausting it gets. And
The longer it goes on, the more exhausting.
I'm telling you,
This
you know,
is-
and
yeah.
I just want to point out, I mean, at least from my opinion, I've got so much to say, but I just want to say that what the Pope said today was pretty fucking awesome, man. I mean, it does, I mean, in a bad way, though. It's like, it's going to take 7 generations to fucking deal with all this bullshit that Trump's fucking done in 5 months. I mean, it's crazy.
It is.
It is. It is. And think of that. Keep thinking of that. 5 months since he's been here. And look at the world
I
has
know,
changed.
right?
Our country, the world itself, we're at war. What the fuck? Didn't take long. But he didn't do it alone. He didn't do this alone. He had help.
No, and it started 30, 40 years ago. You know, we can't say it's just the past few months, because we've
No.
seen the buildup. You know, we know the game. We know the long game that they've played, and they've kept us on our heels with the short-sightedness and the having to, you know, jump and put out fires. When you're jumping and putting out fires all the time, it's hard to get anything done.
That old thing, you can't see the forest for the trees.
But this whole thing is just, I mean, Trump's whole thing is just like his delusion. I mean, none of this makes any sense to me. I mean, it's just blowing my mind that, wow, I'm living through this? Holy shit.
He is selling all of this on Netanyahu's speech. And Netanyahu's been singing the same song for years, for fucking decades. You know, Iran's been days within having a bomb for 15 years. And Netanyahu's, you know, like I said, we had a deal. Under Obama, we had a deal. That was working. That was working. Yeah. Ain't working no more.
That the UN
and I swear this action has damn near guaranteed that they're going to have a weapon someday. They're not going to give up, and we didn't destroy and completely obliterate their weapon system, their enrichment. We didn't do that.
Yeah, I watched the UN Emergency Security Council meeting today, and it was crazy how all these nuclear powers are totally condemning Iran for even trying to get one, and oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And it was just, it seems so hypocritical to me, because I mean, I can understand why Iran would want one. I mean, they've got biological weapons. Shit, they haven't used them against Israel yet, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm not saying they should, or anybody should have one, but for them to want one,
they do.
Yeah, I can't fucking blame them for that, you know?
I've seen an interesting little news clip that Iran is meeting with Russia, meeting with Putin.
Yeah, and China.
What the fuck?
I mean, reports are they had 2 days' notice and got all their shit out of the stuff that was going to be bombed out anyways. That really nothing, no infrastructure was actually damaged other than the buildings.
We blew up some shit, but I don't think we damaged their capabilities that much. They knew this was coming. They'd been
Iran.
They've been getting hit by Israel.
You did.
Well, they did put some. There was some scientists that are confirmed and whatever else, but that's how you get rid of your opposition, isn't it? Right.
Right.
You know, that's how you get rid of the guys that invented the chimera for you, right? That you just lock them in the lab and, you know, make sure that the chimera that they invented works. You know.
Yeah. Boy, howdy shit.
Yeah, and I don't know how the Republicans can support this and then pass this fucking bill that's just going to wreck America.
Because they think they're on the right side of history. Because they think they're on the winning team that's going to be in power and they're just going to stay forever. Well, see, now that they're getting
America great again, right? They're going to make America
great. They're getting
again.
short-sighted, right? And we're getting in the mode of looking at the long term, and have been for the past 4-8 years of looking at the past 20 years, the past 30, 40, 50 years of the cycles that come and go. Because we see this, you know, you look through history, it's about every 100 years, this shit gets all weird. Right around the end of the 20s, going into the 30s. By the 40s, it's just a shit show. That's
funny how everybody needs a war to change their position at the time. You know, just like Trump. You know, okay, we're falling in the polls. We got to do something. You know, let's bomb fucking Iran. You know, it's like
and like you said, it's gonna motivate them. You know. Because we don't have a draft, you know, the people that are going to join are the gung ho. Where was my mind going? Shit.
Yeah, the sycophants, the warmongers, the war fighters, that want to go out and just, you know, rape, rob, and pillage.
Yeah, that's their thought until they get there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a couple of Indians that work across through. Actually, they own the little mini mart thing across the street, gas station, and they're just so cool. I love them to death. And I talked to them yesterday, right after the bombing, and they were like, "What the fuck? Why do we keep killing people? Why can't we just let people live?" You know what I mean? It was like, yeah, I know. I don't get that. That's been
a dream forever, ain't it?
Yeah. Well, all these little people are soaking up all the money that they're trying to steal.
Right. Oh, what do they call them? The Kissinger call them the fucking some
We were
meters, the
warned
use
about
of meters.
the defense, the military industrial complex. We were warned, but we didn't heed
Yeah,
that
man.
warning. And we have built up an army that a military that is unsurpassed in the world. That
If we took half of our military budget for 1 year,
yes,
just for 1 year, we could solve all of this shit.
we
Right.
wouldn't have wouldn't have homelessness. We wouldn't have hungry people in the street. There'd be a chicken in every pot and all that kind of shit. And
Right, and you
we
educate
just up
kids.
we just up the defense spending, because who knew? Who knew?
Why would we want to create a solution to a problem that we started so that we can control the population anyway?
Well, first you have to create the problem.
I mean, like I've said about the fent problem, right? We got this big fent problem. Look at where the ODs are, right? Look at where the most people are getting locked up for possessions. It's around the ports. And diplomatic immunity is a good way to bring in shipping containers, isn't it? Isn't that kind of how the Bush administration brought in all the cocaine in the 80s? And,
Yeah.
Well, I have a question on that, Uncle Fatty. If we're having such a big problem with that fentanyl, why aren't those extra officers of whatever, Hellscapeville,
Yeah.
why aren't they on that problem? Why aren't they knocking on doors on drug doors? Why is
Ain't
it
got
just,
time for
there's a
fentanyl.
brown person, let's go get him?
Yeah.
We ain't got time for that shit no more.
Now we don't even
It's
hear
all-
about the
it's all
fentanyl
about
crap until
immigrants.
it's convenient
It's
to
all
bring
about
it.
kicking out the brown people in this country. And there are those, man, there are those within this Blue Dot family that have great concerns about that. Great
Yes.
concerns.
Yeah, man. I got two guys that are from Puerto Rico that are my right hand, left hand man up here, and I couldn't do what I do without them. They're born here, they're citizens, they've got an accent, and they've been profiled already by our local sheriffs. Who my local sheriff, I could tell you months and months of stories about, is
Oh,
yeah, he's the one that went into the libraries and stole the gay books while he was on duty and bragged about it on the news.
Oh, that
Oh,
solves
that guy.
everything. Yeah, that
He
eliminates
dragged-
the gay problem.
that
Yeah, they
town they dragged that chick out of.
First one, yeah, dude. First one in the nation was that one right
Right.
here. I'm telling you, Idaho's always first. I'm telling you, it's always us.
On the cutting
Speaking
edge,
of which,
huh?
what Mitch was saying earlier, our Idaho State Democratic Party just put out a release here on Thursday, a
Oh,
statement
four?
on Trump's ending the guidance requiring for hospitals to provide emergency care to pregnant women. Women have already died in the United States with these abortion bans and being denied care that they need. Now Trump, the regime, is doubling down, making pregnancy even more dangerous. This is the cruel reality Republican control has over the American public today.
Yeah, their
As they
caveats
brought
on their love
to
for
the
life.
state. We've had 3 women, John, die in the freaking parking lot of a fucking hospital
And that
waiting
should never
for
happen.
health care.
We don't have health care. We have profit care.
I got 2 grandbabies, man. I got to hold them on Sunday, and we're standing there taking the family picture, and it's everybody say cheese, and my son goes, "Say Summer's pregnant." So I got a 3rd one on the way now.
Everybody got.
And-
I bet everybody smiled.
Man, fucking A. And then I started frowning and
happy
kicking
for you,
rocks
brother.
because I know how pissed
I'm
off
happy
I'm
for you.
every hour. I mean, I've never been a helicopter parent. I've never been a real worrywart and stuff. But with my girls being pregnant and now with my daughter-in-law being pregnant, I'm telling you, man, I'm fucking on razor blades.
Nah.
Which
It's
is a
like
whole place to be, man.
when women in states are told that they should probably sign up for the Life Flight Emergency Helicopter Program so that if you have a problem, we can fly you to Washington.
Yep.
That's a fucking problem, people.
Right. They do that all the time over here.
This has been
That's
my number one thing of why I got back involved really heavy here a couple of years ago, is knowing that this is It's a big issue to me because I went through that as a teenager, you know, and had to make that choice and was in that room holding her hand, you know, because that's what real men fucking do. And that's the real shit that happens in America that these rich assholes could give shit about. We got Jim Jordan now finally being prosecuted for his miscreancies with the Ohio State wrestling team. Mitch, I don't report sex crimes. Jordan,
I don't expect much out of that.
Yeah, he's a scumbag.
Yeah, I mean, these.
No, that documentary is gonna fucking get him fucking thrown right out of Congress.
Oh, no. They'll double down. They're already doubling down and saying that these guys are liars and pulling the mega stunt and half. You know, here's the deal. You don't have to convince half of America. You only have to convince the dumb ones to vote.
Yeah. And
5%, maybe. Convince 5%.
Straight up, you know, and the rest of them will fall in just into line like sheep.
We got to do better. Hey, let me catch up real quick. Beth came in with $5. Said, "What do you think of Adam Kinzinger agreeing with these strikes? Love what you do here." I have, to be truth, I have not. I have not watched a whole lot of news in the last couple of days. I don't know who said what. I almost didn't do a show tonight just because I'm not prepared. My head's not into it, and my fucking heart is broken. All that shit, and so forgive me if I'm not up on it. What did Adam Kinzinger? He's out there agreeing with the strikes? Boy,
I didn't get a chance to see that either.
Yeah, he did. He didn't fully condone it, but he's bought the line that there was weapons of mass potential.
Potential.
You know.
Well, if there isn't, there's gonna be. If they don't, yeah, you're gonna have more of a reason to try and have some.
We've guaranteed it. With this strike here,
he hasn't bought into the Nobel Peace Prize thing yet, though.
Guaranteed their fucking dedication to getting it. That's what we've done. Hey, let me thank Vincent Saravo, who came in with $5. Said, claiming to be devout Christians as they deport hundreds of thousands of Latino Christians. Yeah, not a problem. Yeah, it's their mother. Yeah, don't worry about that. We don't want them Christians here anyways. Just the white ones we want. And Chuckster 255 came in with $5. Said, "Hi, all blue dots." As Woody Guthrie said, this machine is fascist. We need Woody today. Oh, and fuck Trump. And Dan Hack just came in with $5. Said that creep wearing that MAGA red hat really creeps me out. Who's wearing a red MAGA hat?
Are you shitting me? Outstanding.
Let me
give him the red hat challenge.
Yeah. And Tim Johns just came in with a $50 donation and said, support each other is what we do. And that's what we do.
Yeah,
we support each other. We hold each other up. We march with each other. We stand up and use our voices together. My head's full of shit. My head is full of shit. But if it's one thing I'm fucking knowing for sure is we can do this, baby. But it's going to take a non-violent protest across this country like never been. And I think this bullshit has solidified that. Has brought more into the fold. Hello, George.
George,
hey, John.
We're getting an echo from you.
Yeah, we're getting an echo there, George.
Yeah.
TV on still.
Oh. Let me see.
How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Are you still getting the echo?
No, that's better.
No, that was it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. I'm here in the Blue Dot family room.
Hell yeah.
Enjoying every minute of it. Yes, sir.
You're in good company, brother. You're in good company.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a craw in my throat with the old bone spurs there. This assault on Iran there, and I anticipated that, pretty much next couple of weeks, 2 week Donnie, he's gonna probably have himself a military jacket with some iron hanging on it and stuff.
I'm surprised we haven't seen that already. I'm surprised he's not out there sporting a military uniform with 10,000 medals on his chest and all that shit. I really am.
Well, we just four
Give him
lieutenant
time, though.
colonels.
Give him time.
Yeah, we just got 4 new lieutenant colonels that have never been in the military that just got sworn in here a couple days ago. One of them is the former CTO of the Meta AI system. The other guy is with the whatever. There are 4 AI assholes. The guy that's in the cabinet that runs the Open AI and all that shit. Anyhow, yeah, one pay grade, 1 step below a general. You know, so
well, that's all they could give him was lieutenant colonel. They couldn't make him any higher than that because you got to be congressionally, promoted.
Yeah,
yep.
Congressionally
So,
confirmed.
No, it's not going to sit well with any of the military personnel that's in them 16 rankings below them.
Well,
Right,
unless they're red hat retards that just completely buy into the, to the show.
Yeah, but if they don't know the UCMJ, they could be out in a second.
Yeah, I'll bet you the only time they'll ever see the uniform was the day they were sworn in with the big show that they had that wasn't on any local news. Right, happened to be broadcast on Al Jazeera, and the politics girl caught it and did a short on it, and I caught it, and there's only maybe 2 or 3 stories on it that have ran in the United States, but it's all over, like Dave says, it's all over Australian news, it's all over the European news.
Yeah.
Yeah, they managed to keep it away from our media, or our media has managed to keep it away from us.
Yeah, I'd go with the latter.
Yeah.
I'd go with the latter. Hey, let me thank Dan
those
Hack,
people
who just came in with a $2 donation and let me know. He said, I meant the president. And then go back to this. He said, that creep wearing the MAGA red hat really creeps me out. That's who he meant, the president. Yeah, I think he creeps out a whole lot of us, Dan. And I hope more and more every day.
I can't wait to piss on the guy's grave, I'll tell you that much.
I'll be right there with you, brother. I'm going to hold out.
I'm hoping they have a urinal for his headstone.
It better be golden.
That would, be gold. Yeah, we'll even give it to him in gold. We'll make a gold urinal right there.
And I got some new AI ideas. Oh, the AI ideas are
It'll be painted gold,
pictures.
Though. Not real.
Let me
gold.
get on the AI. I'll have this done in 10 minutes.
Boy, that is shit.
Oh man,
I'm fucking lost.
All for the show, It's all for the show, and so we just can't buy into the show. We got to look immediately past it, and it's the hardest thing to do.
It's a facade.
You're just putting out fires the whole
patriotism.
time.
That's what it is. A facade of patriotism, with a heavy underlying of hate.
Well, now we're fighting a bunch of warmongers on top of it. You know what I mean? It was just, hey, believe in democratic values. Now it's like, oh my God, we're at war. You guys, you know what I mean?
I
and they're
saw
like,
some reports, some headlines that said some of the Republicans were against this. I have not delved into the fucking news. I've had personal shit going on. I've had to make phone calls I didn't want to make. I've talked to people who
Yeah, they came out and did their little decree, within maybe the first 6 hours, kind of into the next morning of there, but then they all fell right back into line.
Well, there you go.
Oh yeah, all these Republicans are falling back into line. The MAGAs are falling back.
Because he's threatening to slap him upside the head with whatever it is that he uses. Yeah. I don't know what he has that makes supposedly decent men turn their back on everything they've ever believed in.
Well, but see, they're not public servants anymore, right? They're bought and paid for politicians that have a lifestyle that they need to maintain and a re-election that they need to win. And Don Needs already threatened all of them. If you do not fall in line, right, Elon will spend a bunch of money primarying your ass, and we'll get somebody else in here that will fall in line.
Or they'll go in there and mess up with your information and your accounts and stuff, where you all of a sudden you're locked up trying to figure out how to untangle your finances and all that stuff.
Yeah. And you got that much money, you're planning yourself 10 years in advance. You're not just living day to day like all those poor slugs.
Outstanding.
No, I'm day to day nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, you got a 10-year plan. You can't go messing with the guy's, 175K a year that he gets to sit around and do nothing and talk shit about the other side and pass no bills, just fearmonger and, show up for the cameras because they're all podcasters now too, right? They're all professional podcasters, but they moonlight as politicians, right? So can't put it past them to want to keep looking at the dollars. Who's paying? Well, the Heritage Foundation is paying pretty good these days.
Now, since Citizens United, this has just gotten completely out of control. And exactly what you were saying. These guys aren't politicians anymore. They're fucking money makers.
Just made it okay just to put a dollar sign on Congress. That's what that was.
Well, it's kind of hard to be a public about it all the time.
Raise the price, but excuse me.
But it took away the responsibility of being, accessible to your constituents. Because I don't have to be. All I need to do is get money. You know what I mean? It's just nuts.
And they're not dependent on
one of our state senators here. Well, he's a U.S. senator, but from the state of Michigan. I'm not sure anybody's ever been able to actually see him physically outside of his office, but he's had a couple of town halls, but they've all been call-in town halls, and you have to call in and make, your comment or ask your question or whatever and stuff and leave it on a recording. And, they sort through them damn things and get all the soft ones. They're not going to answer the tough questions.
Hell no.
Yeah, Idaho legislature is putting one on Wednesday and Thursday of next week. That's the exact same deal. It's a digital format.
My governor's busy today.
Oh, you got writer's cramp yet?
He's signing about 3,000 bills today. 3,000.
Oh, Abbott,
Yeah.
Today.
Because he's been doing his job, hasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. He's been doing his job already.
Just got a little behind.
Hey, let
me jamming for finals now.
Let me thank Tim Johns, who came in again with another $50 donation and said, "Actions stronger than words." Indeed, my friend, words are only going to go so far unless they're yelled by a whole lot of people in a crowd. And that's what we have to do. Actions stronger than words. Tim, thank you so much. I appreciate that tremendously. Ah, shit. Yeah.
So the Gemini machine is saying that we lost about 5,000 DEA agents in the past 4 months. And that was with the budget cuts and the Doge experiment.
The DEA?
Then,
well, wait a minute. I thought he was out there getting all that fentanyl shit and we needed...
Well, no.
Yeah.
See, then a third of the remaining, 18,000, so 5, 10, about 6,000 of them got transferred to ICE. So we're down to about a third of what we had before Donnie took office for the DEA agents and the DEA force itself.
Which a big push was fentanyl. Stopping fentanyl.
Yep. Most of that's going to be administrative.
Got to get more people.
Well, Junior's going to handle that DEA stuff. He can handle the drug enforcement thing. Have all them drugs sent to his, his establishment so he can have it tested.
You can test it personally to see if it's...
Yeah.
Quality control, we call that in the game, quality control.
With the whole drug thing now, I mean, it's just like, it goes back to fucking Reagan putting crack into LA and all that shit. You know what I mean? They don't care about the drugs. They don't give a shit who it kills. If you're stupid enough to do it, then fucking do it. You're a useless eater. They'll let the drugs go. They'll just fucking put them all into immigration.
Well, I think that the Trump regime has got their hands right in that pie. I mean, anything illegal that's going to bring them a buck, they're going to get their hand in it. They're not going to kick it to the curb.
Well, Palantir owns their own airline that happens to be the airline that's, shipping all these immigrants out.
Yeah. What's coming back on them planes?
Yeah, with no registration and, no flight plans and no manifested flight logs of who's on board.
Exactly.
But, would just look the other way because, you know, that's what the horse does when he has his blinders on and he's being spanked by his master to keep on running.
Hey, a comment caught my eye because somebody said, "Hey, Danny, I agree with that." Danny Pomeroy came in and said, Marjorie Taylor Greene came to Congress with wealth of around 700,000. Today she is worth over, I ain't even going to try to pronounce that damn number. Let's just call
Billions.
it millions and billions. And Americans don't need term limits. We need money limits. Yeah, well, Citizens United did away with that. And John Cass just came in with $5 and said, I saw you know who on the news this morning, and I was just thinking how I wish I could hear that song. You know, that song.
I just need you to shut the fuck up. There's nobody
Anytime I
else,
see
you
him on the
bitch.
news, this song
I
comes
need you
to
to
mind.
shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Just shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Bow, bow. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Bow, bow. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Bow, bow. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Bow, bow.
Had to do that. Had to do that. John, thank you very much, brother. Appreciate it. Boy, had a shit. So where do we go from here?
Forward, buddy. Always forward.
We adapt, we overcome, we move forward. That's where we go.
Yeah, move on to the next play.
Yep.
Our voices have to get louder. The numbers in the street have to get bigger. We have to put the pressure on this government, not just in the White House, in Congress. Something has to change, baby. Something has to change.
Yep, a little more noise and a little more persistence.
Well, you know,
Yeah, they've got to get involved, man.
I've
They gotta
been
get
a big proponent of our family members not being, you know, left and our neighbors and
that's it,
pushing
Mark.
back
Just get elected,
against
you become a
everybody that I
billionaire.
have a chance to. And it's, you know, it works, but god damn it, it's hard. You know, fascist fatigue is real, guys. Fascist fatigue is real, and we're all suffering from it. Okay, and
Yep.
we have to take care of
It's been-
ourselves
it-
before we take care of anybody else.
It's 8.5, 9 years of this shit.
It's
every day.
Yeah, we're looking at 16 years of it. You know, already just up to today, we're looking at 16 years of this shit of Donald Trump being a fucking little bitch because a black guy got elected as president.
That's it. That's it. That's what made
That's
him
all it is.
rise up and give him
all it is.
Donald Trump. Is the audacity of this country to elect a black man as president. That's what started what the troubles that we have now. When it got kicked into overdrive, when Donald Trump came into fucking picture, that's what it was. That's what it was.
There was no legitimacy to his questioning Obama's heritage or anything else, you know?
Fear mongering. And, you know, honestly, now that we look back at it, it was just a Russian narrative that was being spun into America. Because if we're going to doubt ourselves and think that he's not a fucking mole and that he's not an agent, we know Melania was a gift to him from the oligarchs. We know the first time they did it was on Epstein's jet.
Haven't
So,
seen
like,
her
we
much.
know these things.
Yeah. All that bullshit.
Uh-oh. George, we're getting garbage from you again.
Is it breaking news, buddy?
I don't have anything on in the background or nothing. I'm not sure where it's coming from.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but it's coming from you. We can tell.
Might be the volume of your phone, too.
Yeah.
That's all right. We can handle
Yeah,
it.
If I lay it down on this little table that I have, I sometimes looks like I'm getting feedback that's coming through on my side. When you guys talk, it lights up on mine.
That's what it's, yep. It's the echo cancellation in Discord's probably set at a weird level or something. Speaking of which,
what?
Everybody make sure you join the Discord, okay? There's some really great folks, great family in there.
We have, you know,
great information, great source, you know.
I get to spend time on, because a lot of our Blue Dots, you know, on Discord and on Messenger chat, get together damn near on a daily basis. We have groups of blue dots that meet and turn on their camera, and they're sitting there looking at each other, talking all sorts of shit. This family, let's don't start that.
Pretty badass, dude. Pretty badass.
It is.
I'll say about
It is. And people, I get the comments all the time. John, it's you. No, it ain't me. It's you. It's you. It's this fucking chat. It's the numbers viewing right now. You ain't tuning in here because of my pretty face or my words of wisdom. It's this family that we have built here. That's what brings us together. And we need to keep that in mind. Because this family we're fighting for.
Homework, buddy. Homework.
Even North Korea's making fun of him. Of his overpriced prostitute at the parade. Yeah, didn't she look happy? The massive parade. It just I don't know. That it's
who the main
but
sponsors
it's
of the
petty,
parade
but
were,
it pisses me off. Because they sell the narrative that he's a great patriot, that the Trumps are just wonderful people, all of them, the wife, the mother, Melania, Ivanka, all of them. And they're a bunch of scumbags, a bunch of thieves, a bunch of cheats. That's all they
Silver
are.
Spoon, Trustafarians.
It is. It's saddening to see so many people in our country taken in by such bullshit.
And my approach was pretty firm with the Red Hats, in the past few years. And I'm telling you, the more I just kind of intentionally stay calm and, elevate my voice where I need to and emphasize through my restraint how fucking disgusting this is and really how concerned I am about my fellow Americans, my family members, my friends, my neighbors. It's
I'm sorry.
It's more than it's more than me, right? And that's where we're all at. Is we all know it's more than me.
Isn't that
we're all
what our
still
country
in the
was
frame
built
of
on?
mind of like one for all and all for one.
That's what our country is built on. The willingness of us to all stand together to fight for the right cause. Everything from our independence to the Civil War, to the fights that we've had over equality. Yeah, that's what we're known for. We can't let up now when the greatest need is here, because everything we fought for before, it's on the line now. Everything.
Yeah, we don't want to have to do that shit again. Oh my God,
No.
I mean, hell,
No, we've been down this road.
We got half the country that doesn't even believe that due process exists for people that are on American soil.
Exactly. The Constitution tells you that.
We have a lot of
there's
racist,
some people that
bigoted,
think the
misogynistic
Constitution.
assholes in this country.
Yeah.
That's what we have. Too many of them.
There's some of them running the departments that doesn't even know what the Constitution's for. They think it's for the president they use.
They don't have a use for it. Donnie does not have a use for it. He doesn't pay any attention
Somebody
to
seems
it.
to be wiping their butt behind with it here lately, I think.
He doesn't give a shit about the Constitution. He doesn't give a shit about the laws. He doesn't give a shit about the traditions in this country. He doesn't give a shit about anything except money and power, baby. That's it.
You probably didn't see the speech that he gave. I'll tell you one thing he doesn't give anything about at all, and that's God. And I've sworn
and that's what so
gave the other
kills
night.
me is the Christian right, the white Christian nationalists of this country that have fallen all over their ass for him. And if I've ever seen, the devil in disguise, that's him, baby. And it's obvious. It's obvious. He can't quote anything scripture. He can't. He
He
can't
could
even
barely
hold
say
the
the word
freaking Bible
God
up
the
the
other
right way.
No, he gave his little 2.5 speech the other night.
Thank you, God. We love you, God. I mean,
right?
He was such a buffoon on that
Right
bullshit.
there on his little speech. Yeah, he has to throw that in there. And
You
and
know,
that
and that
placates them.
goes
That
to show.
placates them. Oh, look at there. He said something about God. I just love that man. Are you shitting me?
Yep.
Well, he goes against everything that man stands for. That man. Boy, howdy shit.
When in history have we ever heard a politician, especially a leader, a dear leader, tell his constituents that he loves them? And when have we ever heard the mass say back to him, "Oh, we love you, sir," with tears in our eyes, sir?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember that.
Well, he gets oral sex from every one of them whenever they address the.
Whenever they get on camera,
Okay.
every one of them.
That's right.
It's in the contract, I guess. They got to say something wondrous about him. The glorious leader, the wise and wonderful Donald Trump. It's sickening. It's sick. And then what we just saw in the news, who is it? Tulsi Gabbard, National Intelligence.
Yeah.
When they were showing her months ago or whatever, talking about Iran is not seeking a nuclear weapon. They're nowhere near. And then Donnie on
She's
the
wrong.
tarmac calling her a liar, calling her, well, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Now all of a sudden she's changed her tune. Every one of them. They're sellouts.
Well, you know who else wasn't involved in any of this bombing fiasco? Was Peg Seth or Cash Patel or anybody, right? Because he hired why would a person like him, why would a narcissist who happens to be an egomaniac, a megalomaniac, a sociopath, why would a person like that want to put anybody in charge that's capable when he knows that he is the only
he
one that
doesn't
knows
want
everything?
anybody. No. He doesn't want
Oh, he knows
anybody in
everything.
any cabinet member
He doesn't even
to
have to be told that he already knows everything.
Are you shitting me? Outstanding.
God damn. Tim Johns just came in with another $100 donation and said, "See you next time." That's $200 tonight. Tim, I appreciate that tremendously. I do.
Man.
And I just.
It's never asked for, but it's always, there's always gratitude there, you know.
Well, you deserve
it. Join the Patreon and you can get your name in the credits. How about that? No big deal. You got your name. It scrolls up there. You can say, "Hey, look, there's my name. I'm on TV." Or you can get your ass up here and say, "Fuck Trump" in live TV.
Credits. I don't know if. God damn it. I'm sorry. The credits were mentioned, and I don't know if it just crossed my mind. That's the way my mind's working right now. I don't know if Donna Bonicosi's name is going to show up. My son did the change, but we don't know if it's going to cycle through or not. I want y'all to remember her. Donna was a great person. Donna was a hell of a nice. And I know Fred's heart breaking. Linda Calabro, baby. Yeah.
Well, those some folks from the out east that you visited last year, wasn't it, John?
What's that?
I said, didn't you go and visit them last year after the hurricanes?
No, different group of people.
Different, yeah.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I did not get to see Donna Bonacosi.
Okay.
But there, you know, it's like a spider web up in my head. You mentioned her. I know Linda Calabro up in Maine, who traveled down and met with Donna Bonacosi, and they had pictures of their trip to Salem, Massachusetts, and that's what I mean when I talk about the relationships within this family, the friendships, the love affairs, the marriages, and the loss. This is truly a family. We have everything that a family does have, including the heartache. Eric Fish just came in with a $50 donation. Eric, thank you. I'm gonna shut it down. It doesn't seem right. Shit. I promise I'll be better. I'll get better.
Well, at least you can see what you're doing.
You don't have to make any promises, John. You don't.
No, we all hope you get better.
Yeah,
I will.
shit.
I will. Just time heals all wounds, they say. That's what I'm counting on. I just don't believe it.
Yeah, well, that's a big fucking lie. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah. Pain stays with
We
you
just learn how to
forever.
deal with it better, But just life, brother. You know what it's all about. It is all about adapt and overcome. It's the sign of true intelligence, as was said
Yep.
by one Albert Einstein,
There
right?
you
Is
go.
the ability to adapt to change,
And that's what we have to
Yep.
do. Adapt,
and not just be the old
overcome,
guy sitting on the front porch
and move
going, "Get
forward.
off the lawn!"
Get off my yard. Get off my grass. Oh, fuck. They don't
You
know.
can't stop progress, and that's all these assholes are trying to do right now. Is turn back the tides of all the progress that was
Can't
made,
turn back the clock,
humanity,
baby.
on human
Can't turn
rights,
back the
on
calendar.
dignity, on the right to life, right? On the right to fucking liberty.
Oh, shit.
That's the overwhelming
Crisis
part is the
situation,
fact that they're attacking everything at the same fucking time. I mean, these guys are going fucking hog wild on this shit, Taking away everything at the same fucking time.
It's the easiest way to cut off the head is a real clean sweep.
Right?
You don't want to be hacking at the neck too long. People get all pissed off when you start hacking at their neck.
Our sword is our voice. That's our weapon.
Yep.
Our voice.
You got to use it, man. Squeaky
got
wheel
to
gets
use
the
it.
grease.
And
That's why they rely on the sword. They don't have a voice. They don't have anything to stand on.
Nothing credible.
They kind of threw all their shit out the window with bathwater.
They're real confident about it too. They can convince you, but you need to be scared of them people.
Yes,
LBJ. Yeah, you convince the poorest white man that the dark man's coming for him, and you can pick all their pockets.
Yeah. If you can convince
right, you missed
the lowest
everything
white man that he is better than the
white
highest
people
black
did
man,
the
you
end.
got
Holy shit.
Well, you scare him hard enough, he'll bow down and give you his money.
Yep, that's what Trump counts on. That's what I mean.
Straight
He
up.
sells hate. Hate's a powerful fucking tool. Hate's powerful.
Every time he starts
the only thing
warning
that beats
about
hate is love.
something,
And as much
Well,
as
you
I
have
want
to
to
show
give the
that,
asshole
baby.
credit, it's not him. Okay, it's the assholes behind him. It's the billionaires that are in the cabinet. It's guys like Stephen Miller, guys like Steve Bannon. And the more we focus on Trump, the happier they are.
Miss the pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're missing the guys that are actually pulling the
It's not
strings.
just Trump. It's
Look,
everything
Donnie
that
knows
comes
he's
along
got
with it.
syphilis or something. Right? He knows he's in bad health. He knows he's not going to last too long. You can tell just by his bravado and the way he holds himself that he knows
Just
he
like
doesn't have.
all those executive orders and stuff he signed and everything else. He doesn't have that kind of mental acuity that he can just whip all these things up and stuff and read them, and understand what the hell he's signing or nothing else. But,
we already got AA bots working on that. We know for a fact that most of those, right now it's over 35%, but we're coming up on like 60, 70 real quick, that everything in the executive orders is copy and pasted word for word, digital format out of the mandate for leadership document. Project 2025. Copy and paste right out of it. And everything. This is all in there.
Oh, wait a minute. He said he didn't know anything about that.
Oh, no. All this Middle East stuff is in the Project 2025 stuff, too. All this starting conflicts and creating diversions. The tactics. It's all in there.
And it's amazing how Americans don't see that. I mean, it's blatantly in your fucking face, man. This is like taking over the country.
I think this is going to wake a lot of people up. I think the actions over this weekend are going to make a whole lot of people wake up. So wake up, get woke.
Jackbooted, old bald-headed, big white guys, right, that have been hired onto ICE here recently. And remember when I went in, I put in the fake names and I went and infiltrated the sign-up process to be part of the new administration?
Right.
That's all part of this shit, okay, right? Those assholes that signed up for this shit a year and a half ago are the guys that are getting hired locally, right? Like my sheriff is doing.
That's how come I say I'm not sure we're seeing ICE agents arresting.
No, man.
I'm not sure either.
I'm not sure, baby.
They don't even
They
have
got
badges.
masks
They
on
don't
the
even
face.
have
They're not got
tag.
no fucking badge or anything
They're
showing.
bounty
No.
hunters. They're private bounty hunters because private
That's what I
bounty
think.
hunters don't have to read you their rights. For
Volunteers,
private
baby.
bounty hunters can touch you, right? But they have to have a warrant. You know, and I'm straight up. Listen,
Are you
this
shitting
is
me?
coming from
Outstanding.
the Idaho State Democrat Party. Put them under citizen's arrest. If they are not identifying themselves as federal agents and they are attacking and assaulting people, remember, because assault is any unwanted touching at all. Any unwanted touching is assault. Okay? If you see somebody being assaulted, you have the right, as an American citizen, if that's a cop or if it's not a cop, and especially if it's not a cop, to put that person under citizen's arrest. Call the actual authorities. Call 911, say we need somebody here immediately. Somebody's
Call the
just been
police on
killed.
the-
Straight up, get them there quick, right? Because it's going to escalate. As soon as you
Just tell
tell
them you're
look,
being
I've
harassed
seen-
by a bunch
I've
of
seen this.
masked men. You don't know who they are.
Yeah, home invasion.
Yeah, home invasion. Yeah,
Yeah,
really. Hey,
they don't even have the money. They don't have the money to even print these guys badges or name tags on a lanyard, on a piece of plastic.
I don't think it's.
They don't even have the money to do that, right? They're sending them out, and here's the other deal: the tow truck companies are going when they're out of the van and swooping in and taking the vans because they don't have plates on them, and they park all weird in the middle of the road. So if you see something, say something, right? Because it is our voice, right? It is our voice, but it has to be used. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Fucking head on a swivel.
Hey, let me give a big thank you to Pauline Hall, who just came in with a $50 donation and said, just for your pretty face. Well, we know that's a lie. Pauline, thank you, baby. Don't do that. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up for the evening. My head is just gone. I've got. Yeah, my head's gone. Anyway, Tuesday will be better. Tuesday will be a better day. George. Thank you, brother, for coming in. Appreciate it. George, are you with us?
Always good to see you, George, for sure.
Yeah, George must be busy. Anyway, Sammy.
Hey, brother. Thank you for it. Was a great show tonight. Well, it's
not
always
really,
great.
But I appreciate you saying that. It was a great
man.
show, but not by any of my doing.
No, I know you. I mean, you struggle through this shit just like we all do. You know what I mean? And you got to put on these shows, so it's fucking impressive, brother. But anyway,
I
peace and love to everybody.
Peace and love back to you, brother. Let's spread that
once
shit
again.
around.
Right?
Take care.
Peace and love, brother.
Indeed.
Hey, sorry I slipped out the room for a second. You probably hollered at me already.
I did, George. I did.
Oh, I appreciate the call up, man. I like the show tonight, and appreciate all my Blue Dot family and stuff, and all their support, and love and support to you too, John.
I appreciate it, brother.
And all of our Blue Dot family.
To all of our family. To all of our family. That's what we do.
They're dealing with it.
Stand up with each other and for each other. That's what we do.
Yes, sir.
All right. And Uncle Fatty. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, buddy. Make sure you hit that thumb button. Make sure you ring that bell. Make sure you join the Discord. Make sure you hit the Cash App and all that shit. And put on a smile.
I appreciate it, and thank you so much for stepping in tonight. I truly,
It's always good to be with you guys, for sure.
All right.
For sure. And all the chatters, it's always good to see everybody, Hit me up on the Discord if anybody needs anything. We're only halfway through Men's Mental Health Month right now, too. It is Men's Mental Health Month. And straight up, anybody needs something, just fucking get a hold of me.
Outstanding. Fatty, take care of yourself, brother. We'll see you on Tuesday.
For sure.
I hope. All right. And
Absolutely.
I want to thank Mitch Goldstein for coming in and using his voice. I hope he's enjoying the ball game. And yeah, if it wasn't for this family, baby. if it wasn't for this family. Anyway, Miss Chick.
Yes, John.
Oh, baby. I'm
Oh,
glad you
John.
made it through
Yeah, it was a tough one.
it was a tough one. It was a tough one. I apologize for not being on my game. But,
Oh, you don't never have to apologize for that. You're human, for Christ's sake. We all have good, bad, ugly days.
that's the problem. We're all human. We all have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least we acknowledge it in this room. I mean,
That's
come
it.
on.
We don't hide from our shit, baby.
Nope, we don't
hide.
pretend. We don't.
Nope.
Yeah, we don't
Nope.
swing our decks. I don't have one of those, but that's okay.
There was a lot of people trying to convince me not to do a show tonight, and I appreciate those concerns. But this family, I can't stress enough how much this family means to me, and what it does.
Well, and you know, tonight, John, instead of sharing shit sharers or shit likers, I wanted to share that at the time I grabbed them anyways, 283 people cared on Facebook about your post about your heartache. And I'm going to call those people out. People that cared. They cared. As do all of the people in YouTube. I know they all care. But of the people that I chose, we have Cynthia T. from Maine, Jenny L. from Arizona, Kim N. from Illinois, Austin W. from Tennessee, Robert K. from California, and our own Michael J. K.Y. from Kentucky.
From Kentucky.
KY. He cared.
Y'all make my heart lighter. It really does. This family, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. It just because I have faith in y'all. I have faith in this country. I'm not giving up on that shit. And they told me don't do a show tonight. No, I can't. Anyway, Miss Chick, thank you so much, baby, for everything you do. Thank you for being here tonight.
You're welcome. I just want to remind everybody to like, share, and subscribe. We had 471 likes this evening so far. So, yeah, hit the button before you leave if you haven't done that.
We had a record number tonight, I think, of viewers. So, yeah.
Cool.
The family keeps growing. It keeps getting bigger. We just need to march forward, baby. That's all we can do. March forward. Keep this shit going. Anyway,
keep your head up.
Bring a friend. Bring a friend with you next time, why don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't go by yourself.
Tell them to hit the like button while they're here.
All right. No words of wisdom tonight. Just a heartfelt thank you for everybody that showed up tonight, that was in the chat. Thank you so much for the donations tonight. I appreciate that tremendously. It's going to go a long way. And
well, thank you for giving me a spot to where I could come up and steal a couple of smiles off of other people.
Well, there you go. Therein lies the rub, as I always say. No matter how suck your day goes, find a reason to smile and give that shit away. And even when it's hard. I love y'all. Thank you for being here. And we'll be back here on Tuesday night for another Blue Dot family meeting. Until then, love each other, take care of yourself, and put a smile on your face.